Yo, what is up everyone, it's Ozzy, and today I thought I'd make a little guide video. Just thought maybe be helpful to some of you guys, maybe who are, just trying to get into the more efficient phase of farming runes. If you wanted to start getting into some basic speed teams. Now, I'll just let you guys know that my runes aren't, like, very crazy, so I feel like some of these teams are, pretty easy to replicate. I know you can see, other people doing like these crazy, like either they've got some crazy LD5s or some crazy runes that can get even faster than this. But if you just want to have a speed team, that works most of the time, and not really have to worry about it, and you're not into the super efficient, like literally 0-second speed, like I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I feel like these will be pretty replicatable for you guys. We'll just be going over the rune farming ones here, so giants, dragons, and necro. Not really going to talk about spiritual realm that much, because honestly, who really cares? This is it if you're interested at all, but that's as much time as I'm going to spend on that. You probably should be farming that. Let's start off with giants. So this one is the basic team that I'm sure everyone knows about. So yeah, let's just break it down. So you've got the Teshar. You will need Teshar for this one. If you have the Deborah, this really helps, but you can also bring in something like just another damage dealer. If you want to make this same team, I'm sure it would still work. Just maybe make a move after this, or maybe just before her, something like that, which it should still work, as long as it's not messing up with these guys' turn order. So these are the important ones. So let's start off with the main guy, the Teshar. The lowest crit rate you can have him is 67. So make sure he's at least 67. This is literally the borderline. These are the stats I have him. I don't think he has to be this good. I think you can drop it, like literally, got some missing shit here. I think you could probably drop some stats here and he'd still be fine. But maybe try to aim for at least 2400. Artifacts, you just want to focus on the skill 3 crit damage. Damage dealt on water might help a little bit, but for clearing the waves, this is usually good enough for the most part. It's usually overkill, but you do want to make sure that he's skilled up so that this is usable in 3 turns. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Okay, you need this skill to be fully skilled up. This damage is you can probably aim for maybe 2400 with maybe 240, 230 crit damage. Off the top of my head, that sounds probably okay. And just get some good... If you find that you're lacking and you're struggling to get those stats, a quicker way to do that might just be get better artifacts. And that'll probably be easier for you to farm. You're just looking for something with high skill 3 crit damage. Now moving on to this thing. So this, you're going to need this to move before your Teshar. What's good about this in particular is that he's got high base speed, so you don't have to worry too much about his speed. But yeah, this is what you want moving first for the defense break. You can probably go triple fight. In terms of which units have fight runes, it's literally literally you can just put random shit on here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, as long as you're landing the speed. Okay, and this is on fight as well. If you've got another damage dealer, you can maybe put that on a 2 set of fight, maybe help you out a little bit. But yeah, you've got fight here. Just make sure you got the accuracy. I didn't want it to be too fast, so I didn't max that out. I'm not going to mess around with it just in case it messes something up. But yeah, basically you just want this thing to go first. After that, you're going to want your bird, okay? Now the bird, you need this to go directly after this thing. So this can do his, skill 3, take something out, and then this pushes up the Teshar right again. That's going to make you clear the wave pretty much instantly. If you do mess up because this thing, misses a defense break, you're usually still fine. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And then you got this thing. This is probably going to be the one where you need to get a lot of crit damage on, since it scales off enemy max HP. Attack is still a little bit important, but yeah, just make sure you've got... that's for this skill here. Just make sure you've got a lot of crit damage. Again, 67, bare minimum. Just aim for that because you do have the crit rate lead from the Teshar. And, skill 3 crit damage in the artifacts. I've got damage dealt on water, so this is always hitting the boss and the mid-boss. In that case, that's always going to be water. So damage dealt on water is very helpful. 19%, that's a lot of extra damage. So if you feel like you're struggling to miss the kills, damage dealt on water is probably the key. You don't need accuracy, you just need damage here. And then Deborah is Deborah. Just make sure she's probably not moving. And, you know, triple fight, that works, makes things easier. Again, if you don't have her, you're going to want to just bring in another damage dealer. Alright, moving on to Dragons. So with this one, you don't need a Deborah for this one, so this is a little more free to play. You still need a Nat 5, but honestly, if you're at the point where you're farming stuff like this and you want it to be very fast, you've probably got a lot of, you know, normal element Nat 5, so this probably shouldn't be an issue. I can make another video if you guys want going into safe teams. If you know, you're just starting out and you want to clear this dungeon in a safe way, might take a little bit longer, obviously. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Anyway, so for the Shiner, she's the one moving first. I've got her on triple fight. It doesn't really matter, just make sure you've got enough accuracy. Luckily, she does have the 25% accuracy buff in her passive. But yeah, I think you want to aim for around maybe 40 accuracy. You can just get this in the artifacts as well, so that's obviously chilling. This side doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure I just have that tankiness so she doesn't die. Next up is the Julie. Now, this might be the hardest part for you guys to do. Personally, it took me a while to get this, but the main key to this one is additional damage by attack. Alright, you can see here we've got, what is this, 21 in total, 21%? There's a little bit of other ones here, they're less important, but yeah, 21%. And this is like almost the bare minimum speed. You're going to need to land around this speed, okay? Any slower and the tuning for these things might, you know, stop working, so make sure you're at least 86 speed, okay? And then you should be fine. Your tuning shouldn't be a problem, alright? Moving next in the team is the Kyle. So we got him out this fast. I think this is a little faster than he needs to be. But just sort of like the other Teshar team, you just need him to move, and then the bird is going to push him up to go again. Pretty similar story with this. What you're going to want to do is have him on 100 crit rate. Now, so Julie is not going to be able to clear the units in the middle, no matter what you do. So this guy needs to clean them up. So you want him to be 100% crit rate. Also, if you're Julie, if you can't get her to one-shot the waves, that's totally fine. Even the ones on the side that are easier to kill, if you can't get them, if you have this guy on 100 crit rate, you can still build this team without having the crazy Julie. And it's just going to take an extra like 5 to 10 seconds because Kyle's going to have to spend more time cleaning up the waves on his own. As long as you have 100 crit rate, you know, he cleans them up and you don't have to worry about it. It just takes a little bit longer. Next up, you know, just keep the same bird as before. It should be fine. Shouldn't be any issues. Just make sure it's the tuning is all good with your Kyle. And then you've got the star of the show. You got the Liam. This guy doesn't have to be max crit rate because he's hitting a fire unit, so he's gonna get his extra 15%. So yeah, just on attack, crit damage, and attack. Around this speed is where you want him to be. Any slower, and he's going to get cut by the dragon. And if you get cut by the dragon, well, I think you know what happens. In terms of artifacts, what do we got? We got damage dealt on fire. And I've got crit damage as less enemy HP as well, because you're going to be hitting the dragon as its HP is in the second half. So this is actually very helpful. This artifact isn't even that good, and I still clear the dragon, so that's fine. And then here, we've just got skill 3 crit damage. I don't know why this is additional damage by attack. Ideally, you're going to want, you know, just crit damage as HP less. That's for you to figure out. I mean, as long as it works, and it's not a problem, okay? You will notice that Liam's AI is not perfect. That's fine, even if he's skill 2s. Your whole team should be okay. You're mostly water, and you'll find that as the dragon's HP gets lower, his AI does become perfect. So theoretically possible that you can build a super high damage Kyle so that the boss is always in the range where Liam uses his skill 3. You don't have to do that, and I personally cannot be bothered figuring that out. So, like, if you're like me and you just want to set it and forget it, just do it like this, and you'll be totally fine. Moving on to Necro, I don't know if they've made any, you know, advancements in Necro, but Necro's always been kind of annoying to clear. I think even with the clear time's only like 50 seconds, but this team hasn't changed in a while, okay? You've just got the Abigail. I've got her on Bio, so you got more chances to break the boss's shield. You don't really have to do that. I've got a shield set, okay, just to provide some sustain. And then you, pretty much just have to worry about that. I've got skill 2 accuracy. I think realistically it's probably better if I get a bit more. I'm not 100% sure what the Necro resistance stat is, but yeah, you just want to make sure you're landing defense breaks and, you know, getting a lot of hits so you can break the boss's shield. She can be awakened now since they fixed the AI, so that's good. And then you can get the extra stats from that, you know, a little bit extra damage to make sure that, you know, maybe sometimes she contributes to killing the boss. Next up, we've got Ikaru. Just make sure he's teaming up with 3 units. Pretty simple. We've got the Fire Dog. Similar thing. It's probably better to have this guy on Will, but, you know, this still works, so honestly, I'm not too fussed. Just make sure you got the accuracy so you can land those defense breaks. Next up is the Shaman. Everyone should have a Shaman built. Just make sure he's not too slow so he's not, you know, getting outsped by the boss. But you do ideally want him to be moving last because, you know, he is doing the big damage after everyone breaks the boss's shield and stuff. Just focus on crit damage. Yeah, he will melt this boss. So if you get this turn order working right, he will absolutely destroy this boss. And then you got this thing. This is very helpful for clearing waves since she's got AoE skill 1, which is going to team up with these and hopefully eat away at the wave. And now with her passive always getting increased attack power when she gets hit, she's actually going to do a lot more damage on the boss now. And you'll find that maybe you do a bunch of hits and this thing might even kill the boss on its second life before Shaman even moves. You can get the speed tuning a little bit better. Personally, I don't bother with it, which is why I said this isn't the most efficient video, but if you just want a decent speed team, you can follow this. If you want absolute efficiency, you gotta watch another guide, man, because honestly, I don't have time to do this, so there you go. That's these teams. I've been playing videos of them running in their pretty much most ideal situations on the screen as this has been going. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this and want to see more guides like this, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe and all that. We're gonna be trying to hit 500 subs in the next month or so. So if you want to be part of that, yeah, please do it. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next video.